Well, everyone, it is officially Friday for you guys watching this video at home. Hopefully, you guys are watching these videos. If you are, let me know what I can do better in the comments down below. But it is Friday, so we're going to be predicting the SEC College Football Week 3 games, I guess you would say. Because there's a lot of games to get to. We're going to talk about some of the good games that are going to be going on, some of the really terrible games that are happening this week as well. But we're going to get into all of that in today's video. But first, if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to drop a like, subscribe, turn that bell on. We do our best to post on this channel every single day. With that being said, once again, sorry for not posting yesterday on the channel. It was a very busy day. Should have been a busy day. I could do a video, but I have to go. Currently, at the time of recording this one for tomorrow, which you guys will be getting today, I'm going to have to go to work in about an hour and a half. So, obviously, there's that. I'm going to get this video edited so you guys can watch this one on time, and we'll take the day off. We did post a YouTube short, though. We'll post a couple more of them later today as well. So, yesterday should have been 2 or 3 shorts regarding high school games and Major League Baseball. But disregarding all of that, we're going to talk about the SEC college football games. And let's go ahead and hop right into this because there's some games that we got to get to. All right, so the first one is LSU and Mississippi State, 11 a.m. kickoff for ESPN. This is kind of where it gets into conference play, but kind of doesn't. There are some teams who still have that third non-conference game to play, and obviously they play another conference game later in the year, for example, Mississippi State and Ole Miss, obviously. But this game, I don't really know who to predict here. Obviously, LSU's good, but LSU did struggle against Florida State. Now, Mississippi State, on the other hand, they looked pretty dang good in their win against Arizona last week. So, therefore, I'm still going to take LSU on the road. I just don't be surprised if Mississippi State hangs with LSU for this game, especially considering that it is at home in Starkville. Moving on, you got Kansas State and Missouri. I actually have Kansas State winning this game on the road. They are obviously the favorite here, but they're 15th in the country. Missouri obviously not ranked. This is going to be the 11 a.m. game on the ESPN or SEC network. So obviously there's that right there. But don't count Missouri out. If Missouri does play good, it'll be because they're at home. But I just don't see Missouri winning this game against a Kansas State team who is pretty dang good. If you ask me, they're ranked one behind LSU. Expect Kansas State to get the win on the road against Missouri. All right, moving on, you got the quote-unquote primetime game of the week, the 2:30 game on CBS. The last year that the SEC is going to be on CBS before the new contract expires next year for SEC on ESPN. With that being said, the first game of the year on CBS is South Carolina Gamecocks at the Georgia Bulldogs. I mean, it's pretty clear who's going to win this game. Georgia should mollywop South Carolina. Number one, don't know why this is the 2:30 game. If anything, it should be the Florida-Tennessee game, which we'll talk about in a minute. But I think Georgia's going to absolutely murder South Carolina. South Carolina did not look incredibly great in that opener against North Carolina, and they were a pretty decent team. So, obviously, going off of that right there, I think that South Carolina is going to get mollywopped by Georgia. Georgia's looked fantastic these first couple of games. Now we'll get to see how they look in conference play with Carson Beckett. Moving on to the next game is Alabama and South Florida. And fun fact right here, obviously Alabama is pretty good. But aside all of that, Nick Saban is going to be at this Spanish Fort High School football game tonight. I believe they're making a pit stop so they can go watch Sterling Dixon tonight as we take on the Spanish Fort Toros. Now, depending on what time this video comes out, hopefully I will get to somewhat see him, or if not meet him. Hopefully I will be on the sidelines for that game, so I'm wondering if Nick's going to be on the sidelines. If he is, I'm going to try my best to get a picture with him. Obviously, if I don't, there's reasons for that. But disregarding all of that, that's just some big news in a small town right there. But disregarding that, I still have Alabama winning this game. Again, it's against South Florida, guys. Come on. Yes, it's on the road in South Florida. Yes, Alabama's still struggling with their quarterback position issues. I still think Alabama's going to beat South Florida this weekend in Tampa. Now, I expect it to be close for the first quarter or so, but Alabama's going to eventually pull away, and Alabama's going to take a dub and move on to 2-1 on the year. Moving on, you got A&M and Louisiana Monroe. That's one of the games that we're going to skip because I think all of you know who I am going to be taking in this game. Moving on, you got the game of the week, the SEC game of the week for me at least, and for the nation. Tennessee at Florida. This is going to be a good one, I believe, for like the first half. I still think Florida's going to get absolutely murdered by Tennessee. I think Joe Milton is him for Tennessee. That's the guy they've been looking for, obviously. But I still think Tennessee's going to get the win on the road in Florida, in Gainesville. It's going to be a tough environment for Florida, or for Tennessee on the road. But Tennessee's offense is electric this year. Their defense outstanding. What Pickett or Pruitt is doing over there is absolutely phenomenal for Tennessee fans and for the fans, or for Tennessee, for the school itself. So, obviously, I'm picking Tennessee to win this game on the road. I just think Tennessee will get this win and then move up into the top 10 where they rightfully deserve to be. Alright, moving on to the other SEC game that we're going to talk about that is absolutely crap. I will hit on this game, though, is Auburn and Samford. I think we all know who's going to win this game. That's the Auburn Tigers. But I'm interested to see how Peyton Thorne and the rest of the offense bounces back after what they did in California and after the late night. I'm interested to see how that's going to affect them coming back home and to see if, obviously, they might let up a little bit off of their gas. Now, it is homecoming weekend for the Auburn Tigers as well, so expect the Auburn football staff to really, really want to be getting this win against Stanford. I think Auburn's going to get the win. It's going to be a blowout, but Auburn's going to take a quarter or two to get going. I expect Auburn to get the win at Stanford, though, and start the year off 3-0, probably the best team in the SEC record-wise. Now moving on to Vanderbilt and UNLV, and we'll hit on this game just a little bit, but Vanderbilt's going to win this game. It's against UNLV, guys. Come on now. Vanderbilt 2-1 to start the year. That's not that bad if you're Vanderbilt. So therefore, I'm taking the Vanderbilt Commodores here on the road. Yes, it's on the road, but I still expect Vanderbilt to get the win. Moving on, you got Georgia Tech and Ole Miss. But I do want to mention that Georgia Tech has hung in there with some powerhouse SEC squads. They did it last year with Georgia for the first half or so. So if they do that against Ole Miss, they could find a way to win. I just don't see it happening. I think Ole Miss is going to take the win at home in Oxford. Moving on, you got one of the more interesting games of the week this week, and that is BYU taking on Arkansas. Both teams evenly matched. I still think Arkansas is going to get the win because it's at home and they're in the SEC. SEC is God tier for whatever reason. But don't count BYU out in this one. I still expect it to be close the entire way. I just don't know how Arkansas's offense is going to look yet. So, therefore, I'm taking Ole Miss here in this one. Or Arkansas in this one, rather. Caught myself there. And then moving on to the final SEC game of the week is Kentucky and Akron. Kentucky's going to win this game. It's not going to be close at all. Everybody's going to start saying Kentucky's back. Obviously, they're going to be number 3 or 4 in the East because there's no competition in there other than Georgia, Tennessee right now. So, expect Kentucky to get the blowout win. Anyway, that is going to be all for my SEC week number 3 predictions. I can't believe we're already in week 3 of the college football season. By the way, we are going to an Auburn football game in October. October 28th is when the game is. It's against Mississippi State. But I'm super excited for that, by the way. But that's my predictions for the SEC week number 3 schedule. Let me know yours in the comments down below. How hyped you are this week. What games you'll be tuning into as well. Really, the only ones I'm going to be tuning into is the Auburn game, obviously, and the Tennessee-Florida game. Maybe a little bit of Georgia-South Carolina. But other than that, there just aren't really a lot of good games on this week as we start going into conference play. So, let me know your thoughts on this in the comments down below, though. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, turn that bell on. We do our best to post on this channel every single day. With that being said, I'm going to hop off, get this edited so you guys can watch it on time. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.